This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of stakes racing action to bring to you, of course, this weekend, highlighted by the 126th running of the Kentucky Derby. We are going to be showing you 17 races today, all but one of them a graded stake, so obviously a lot of high-quality racing going on throughout the country. Without further ado, we are going to begin the day's program with Sunday's 60 Sales Handicap at Sportsman's Park. This is a Grade 3 event for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going 1 mile and 1/8. Let's head out to Sportsman's Park now for the call of the 60 Sales Handicap.
In the gate. And they're off. And toward the inside, here's Wade for Me out for the lead. Lines of Beauty also showing speed through this first furlong. So too is Lou Ravi, and Tap to Music is just there toward the inside and up close fourth. Facciabella next in fifth. Then it's Forgiving Monarch, and farther back comes Batuka, and Adam's Time is running in eighth. So as they head toward the clubhouse turn, Pat Day gets Lou Ravi in front of Lines of Beauty on the outside, and Tap to Music closer toward the rail running third. Wade for Me is next in fourth, and she's 4 from the front runner Lou Ravi. Followed by Facciabella, who's just forward of Batuka, who settles in 9 from the leader. Adam's Time is ground saving, running second to last, and Forgiving Monarch is in eighth. 23 and 4 of the opening quarter. They head down the backstretch, and it's Lou Ravi running unopposed on the lead. Lou Ravi clear of Lines of Beauty and Tap to Music right there toward the inside. Wade for Me is next in fourth, still 4 from the lead. Followed by Facciabella at the half-mile pole. Batuka is next. She's 6 from Lou Ravi heading toward the far turn. Adam's Time and Forgiving Monarch is dropped out to last. 48 seconds flat for that half-mile. 3 furlongs from the line, and it's Lou Ravi still in front. Tap to Music second on the outside. Dropping back now in third, Lines of Beauty. Wade for Me has given up no ground, running fourth. Batuka still 6 behind of Lou Ravi and Tap to Music, and they're at the top of the home stretch. 6 furlongs in 1:12 and 1. Pat Day confidently handling Lou Ravi down toward the final furlong. Marlon St. Julian driving on Tap to Music on the outside, and they've left the others well behind. Batuka's come up into third. Wade for Me is fourth, but it's Lou Ravi. Lou Ravi rolling to victory in the 60 Sales. She streaks past the line, a 3-length winner. Tap to Music was second, and they were almost 10 clear of Batuka third in 1:49 flat. Track record time for Lou Ravi in the 60 Sales.
Lou Ravi, racing's newest millionaire, getting the win here under Pat Day. Tap to Music running second, chasing her through the lane, unable to catch the 2-length winner. Batuka chasing up into the third spot. Batuka closing quite a bit of ground after being outrun early under Robbie Alvarado. Lou Ravi did cross the $1 million mark. She is racing's newest millionaire with this win. She's a 5-year-old daughter of A.P. Indy out of At the Half by Seeking the Gold. She was bred in Kentucky by W.G. Leister III. She is owned by Yoshio Fujita and trained by Carl Bowman. Ridden to victory by Pat Day. 60 Sales Handicap winner Lou Ravi completes the 1 mile and 1/8 distance in 1 minute 49 seconds flat. Next, we're going to head out to the West Coast for Saturday's Will Rogers Handicap, a Grade 3 event with a $100,000 purse. It's for 3-year-olds going flat mile on the turf. Let's head out to Hollywood Park now for the call of the Will Rogers Handicap.
All in line in the Will Rogers Handicap. And there they go. Duke of Green was the last away. Jekyll and Hyde goes right up to the front with Purely Cozine along the inside, Designed for Luck. Sideburns stacked up 4 off the rail, and to the outside of him, PJ's Alarm racing along in 5th. Cielo Stellato a close-up 6 in behind runners. Silver Axe is 7th. He's 5 from the front, and just behind him, Duke of Green, and that's the field as they bend through the turn, and it's Jekyll and Hyde under a hold, leading it from Purely Cozine right there in 2nd. Sideburn in 3rd. PJ's Alarm still wide through the turn in 4th. Designed for Luck saved ground along the inside in fifth, followed by Cielo Stellato six, but just 2.5 from the front. Then it's 2 back to Silver Axe, and the last horse is Duke of Green. He trails only behind the leaders by 6, and the leaders are Designed for Luck and to the outside Purely Cozine. These two just a neck apart. And then to the outside, Cyburn gets up a closer third. Designed for Luck still there in 4th position. After that, Cielo Stellato in 5th. They're followed by PJ's Alarm, Silver Axe, and Duke of Green still trails. They get to the far turn, Jekyll and Hyde and Purely Cozine. Now they're just heads apart. On the extreme outside, Cielo Stellato and Sideburn. Along the inside, Designed for Luck. They go through the turn, and now Purely Cozine gets his neck in front of Jekyll and Hyde. Cielo Stellato right there. Designed for Luck could use some racing room about now, and Duke of Green powering up from last. He'll go wide out of the turn and into the stretch. Purely Cozine hits the front, Jekyll and Hyde in second. Then comes Designed for Luck. Duke of Green closing on the outside with Cielo Stellato. Silver Axe gets pinched behind horses. It's Purely Cozine leaving them behind, but here comes Eddie D with Duke of Green. Purely Cozine is going fastest of all, though, and Purely Cozine and Victor Espinoza to win the Will Rogers handicap. Duke of Green rallied for second. Silver Axe was third.
Purely Cozine getting the win here. This is his first graded stake. He had won the listed La Puente Stakes earlier in the year. He was showing very high early speed, dueling on the lead with Jekyll and Hyde, able to draw off to a length advantage over the late running Duke of Green. Silver Axe rallying from well off the pace into the 3rd spot. Purely Cozine is a 3-year-old chestnut son of Cozine from Pure the Pure by Turcoman. He was bred in Kentucky by Ted Taylor. He is owned by Ed and Natalie Friendly, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden to victory by Victor Espinosa. Will Rogers handicap winner Purely Cozine completes the mile on the turf course at Hollywood Park in 1 minute 34 and 3/5 seconds. Continuing with racing from Hollywood Park, it's the Hawthorne Handicap, a Grade 2 event. This was run on Sunday at Hollywood. It's a $150,000 added event for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Let's head out to Hollywood once more for the call of the Grade 2 Hawthorne Handicap.
And there they go. Riboletta springs to the front from the outside. Cook and Vicky goes with her. After that excellent meeting, Zante and At the Rail. And speaking of time, she has the rail, but she's at the back of the track as they go through the turn. And from mid-pack, the leader is Cook and Vicky. Now to the outside, Riboletta, and along the inside, Zante. And Zante gets a neck in front of Cook and Vicky. Riboletta's now to the outside in 3rd. Excellent meeting off the pace. She's in 4th, 3 from the front. Then it's 2 back to Speaking of Time as they turn onto the backstretch. And Zante leads it a half now. Cook and Vicky to the outside in 2nd, followed by Riboletta. Those 3 just a half a length apart inside, 6 furlongs to run. Excellent meeting is just 2.5 off the pace, and along the inside, Speaking of Time, that's the field in the Hawthorne Handicap with 5 furlongs to run, and it's Zante leading it almost a clear length. To the outside, Riboletta inching up to take over 2nd. Cook and Vicky right there between those horses in 3rd. These 3 right there, necks apart once again. Excellent meeting, has been in 4th throughout. She is stalking the pace, and she's just 2.5 in the front. After that, the trailer is still Speaking of Time. They head for the far turn. Riboletta to the outside, followed by Cook and Vicky. Zante has dropped anchor, and now here comes Excellent Meeting. She's advanced up into 3rd. Speaking of Time is in 4th. They come to the top of the stretch. Riboletta to the outside. Excellent Meeting is coming on. After that, At the Rail, Cook and Vicky drops back 3rd. Speaking of Time, chasing after her out of the turn and into the stretch. Riboletta comes out off the rail. Excellent Meeting is 2 behind her and now dives down towards the inside, but it's Riboletta who suddenly leads by over 2. Now 3 at the furlong pole, and Riboletta stepping clear from Excellent Meeting. Speaking of Time is challenging Excellent Meeting for 2nd now, but at the 16th pole, it's Riboletta. She'll win it by at least a half a dozen. Riboletta takes the Hawthorne. It's close for 2nd. Give it to Excellent Meeting over Speaking of Time.
Riboletta getting the win here. South American bred, Brazilian bred filly, winning for the in her second major stakes win of the year. She is the winner of the Santa Margarita as well, drawing away and hiding a 7-length win here over the favorite Excellent Meeting. Speaking of Time, rallying into the 3rd spot here, Zante, who had been running in fairly well against good horses, set the early fractions and unfortunately ended up eased in the drive. The winner, Riboletta, is a 5-year-old bay mare. She was bred by the Hara Santa Ana de Rio Grande in Brazil. She's a daughter of Roy Normand from Joy Valley by Gadir. She's owned by Aaron and Marie Jones, trained by Eduardo Inda. She was ridden to victory by Chris McCarron, completing the mile and a 16th distance at Hollywood Park in 1 minute 42 and 1/5 seconds. We're going to continue with stakes racing action by moving our tack to New York, where on Saturday we had co-features here. We're going to start things off with the Grade 3 Fort Marcy Handicap. This is $100,000 added. It's for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/16 miles on the turf course. Let's head down to Aqueduct for the call of the Fort Marcy Handicap.
And they're off. Wised Up came away well. Middlesex Drive arranging up on the outside. Hummy is there at the rail. They straighten away, come past the stands for the first time, and it is Middlesex Drive who will get the early advantage. Middlesex Drive by 2.5 lengths. Hummy next in second, and then on the outside it's Beck and the King. Wised Up at the rail. Their heads apart, third and fourth. Then comes Barbola, and make no mistake, right alongside of each other. Swamp is next in seventh, and Spindrift in eighth, and Sosa trails the field in ninth. The opening quarter mile in 23 and 2. They've reached the backstretch. Middlesex Drive leading the field here by a length. Hummy is second by a length. Beck and the King on the outside in third. Wised Up towards the inside, racing in fourth, and a gap of 2 to Barbola, and make no mistake, Swamp is seventh, about 6 lengths from the lead. Then comes a Spindrift, and farther back, Sosa. The half was running 47 and 3, and it is Middlesex Drive maintaining the lead here. Middlesex Drive now in front by 1.5 lengths. Hummy still chasing in second. Wised Up down on the inside in third. Then comes a Beck and the King, make no mistake, and Swamp, and they come off the turn into the stretch with Middlesex Drive leading here by 2 lengths. Wised Up comes off the inside. Hummy is on the outside in third. Then it's Spindrift, and make no mistake, Middlesex Drive now challenged on the outside by Wised Up, and here comes Spindrift in the middle of the course with a late run. It is Spindrift going by them all to upset the field and win the Fort Marcy Handicap. Tight for second, Middlesex Drive or Wised Up.
Spindrift getting a very impressive performance here. Spindrift a little bit of trouble at the gate. I thought that there might even be a chance they would scratch him. He threw Jean-Luc Samyn, refused to load, giving some trouble, but very impressive once the race went off, closing very hard to win by 1.5 lengths. New course record time of 1 minute 40.4. So this horse really flying late. The early fractions were legitimate, but he closed like a ton of bricks, and just making a huge move to run down Middlesex Drive, who was returning for his first race of the season off of his disappointing effort last year in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Wised Up ran a fairly one-paced third. He was inside of horses for much of the going, did have a little bit of chance to angle out late, and got up for third. Wised Up was the defending champion in this race, allowed to go off at 19-1. The winner, Spindrift, is a 5-year-old bay horse bred in Ireland by T.J. Hurley. He is a son of Mukadama from Win For Me by Ma Noel. He is owned by Rashid Al Maktoum, trained by Kieran McLaughlin, making his American debut a successful one, completing the 1 1/16 miles distance in new course record time under Jean-Luc Samyn. The time 1:40 and 4/5 seconds. Continuing with stakes racing action in New York on Saturday, we have the Withers Stakes. This is a Grade 3 event for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. The purse $150,000. Let's head back down to Aqueduct for the call of the Withers Stakes.
And they're off. Turn of the century broke well, but is now taken off the pace, and it is Precise End and Port Herman who will go out for the early lead. Precise End with a head in front, Port Herman on the outside in second. Then it's a gap of almost 5 lengths back to Bear Outline. Turn of the century on the outside is Big E. Cats and Home is running in sixth. 5 lengths to Be Mine Tonight and Bulling. The opening quarter, 21 and 4 as the field continues up the backstretch. It is Precise End who leads now by 1.5 lengths. Port Herman is second by 2.5 lengths. Cats at Home has taken third. Big EE is on the outside. Turn of the century in between horses. Bear Outline is dropped back to 6th, then Bulling and Be Mine Tonight. And the half mile, an unbelievable 43-4. They're midway around the far turn, and it is Precise End who has the lead now, getting away to lead by 3 lengths. Port Herman is second. Then comes a Big EE and Cats at Home, and they're at the quarter pole. It is Precise End, has run 3/4 of a mile in 1:08. Precise End still in front, the lead 3 lengths. Then Big EE, followed by Port Herman. Farther back is Cats at Home, and they're inside the 8th pole. Precise End trying to go wire to wire in the withers. Big EE making a late run towards the inside. Precise End is tiring. Big EE comes on through, and Big EE wins 1.5 lengths. Precise End second. Port Herman was third.
Big EE closing late on Precise End after that one had set all of the early fractions, very fast early fractions. Big EE was able to run him down at a 3-wide move on the turn. Precise End holding on to second. Port Herman, who had chased the early pace, maintains his position in the stretch for the 3rd spot. The winner, Big EE, is a dark bay or brown colt. He is 3 years old. He was bred in Florida by Louis Guarino. He's a son of Jolie's Halo from Proud Clarionist by Tri-Jet. Owned by the El Hollow Farms, trained by Jimmy Jerkins, who's having a fantastic season down in New York. Ridden to victory by Herb Castillo Jr., completing the 1-mile distance in 1:35 3/5 seconds. We're going to continue with stakes racing action from Aqueduct with Sunday's Grade 3 Beaugay Handicap. This is a $100,000 added event for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares going 1 1/16 on the turf course. Let's head back to New York for the call of Sunday's Beaugay Handicap.
And they're off. Perfect Sting got off to a good start. License Fee is showing speed, but here comes Free Vacation from the outside. As they move by us for the first time, License Fee to be the leader. Free Vacation coming up to prompt the pace. Free Vacation very eager despite the restraint of John Velasquez. There's a break of 3 lengths back, and Siberian Mirage, the gray, is now running in 3rd. Critics Acclaim on the inside is 4th. Then Perfect Sting, followed by Fictitious, and the early trailer will be Anguilla as the field moves into the clubhouse turn. It's License Fee in front, and the eager Free Vacation pressing the pace now, second by 4. Followed by Siberian Mirage, 3rd on the inside. Perfect Sting now edging up on the outside in the 4th. Critics Acclaim. Fictitious is reserved at the back of the pack, and Anguilla is still allowed to trail the field. The opening quarter went in 23 3/5 seconds. They're moving toward the half-mile pole. It's still License Fee, pushed along by Free Vacation. Perfect Sting is drawn within 3 lengths of the lead. On the inside, Siberian Mirage continues to run along in 4th. Then Fictitious, still relatively unhurried, 5th. Critics Acclaim is pinned down toward the inside, and Anguilla is the trailer. Less than 3 furlongs to go. The half in 48-1. It is still License Fee in control. Perfect Sting is revving up on the outside 2nd. Free Vacation tails off 3rd. Siberian Mirage is 4th. Fictitious swings out for the stretch drive into the final furlong. License Fee still very strong on the lead. On the outside, it is Perfect Sting. Perfect Sting short lead. And now Chavez gets to work on License Fee. License Fee and Perfect Sting nip and tuck down to the finish. Fictitious 3rd, and they're coming down to the line, and Perfect Sting prevails in a hard-fought drive. License Fee was 2nd, Fictitious 3rd.
Perfect Sting returning to the races for this season, making her first race back a winning performance. Very impressive performance here under jockey Jerry Bailey. Win by 1/2 length as the even money favorite. Second, License Fee. This one showed very good speed on the inside, stayed on very nicely. License Fee was a former Roberts horse that was sold in dispersal, now with Windstar Farm. Coming back here on the turf, she was a filly who had done very well in New York on the main track, here trying turf and running a very good second behind Perfect Sting. In the 3rd spot was Fictitious, who rallied from well off the pace. She was down on the inside, made a wide move into the stretch. Unfortunately, that rally did fall a bit short. The winner, Perfect Sting, is a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Red Ransom from Valid Victress. She was bred in Kentucky by Frank Stronach. She is owned by the Stronach stable and trained by Joe Orsino. Ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, completing the 1 1/16 distance in 1 minute 42 and 1/5 seconds. We're going to continue with Aqueduct, the final stakes racing of the Aqueduct winter and spring meeting. The Grade 1 Carter Handicap run on Sunday, a $200,000 event. 3-year-olds and up going 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back to Aqueduct once more for the call of the Carter Handicap.
And they're off. Unreal Madness breaks like a shot. And a Firm Success comes away in good order, and Brutally Frank is third, followed by Hetab, Western Expression, and stablemates Cashatray and Chasing Women. Moving up the back stretch, and it's Unreal Madness the leader. A Firm Success pressing second from the inside. Brutally Frank is third. Then on the outside, Western Expression is rating back and forth, then Hetab. The first quarter clicked off in 22 and 2/5 seconds. Approaching the half-mile pole. Unreal Madness in front. Brutally Frank is second on the outside, and A Firm Success is tailed off. He's now back to third. Western Expression is a strong fourth. Cashatray steadies in traffic. Chasing Women in the clear and on the outside, and Hetab around the far turn. Unreal Madness still there. Short lead. Brutally Frank right alongside. Western Expression 3 wide third. A Firm Success is now dropped back to fourth. Hetab is coming on through between horses from fifth. Chasing Women spun wide off the turn. They ran a half in 45 seconds flat. Wide open here as they come to the final furlong. Unreal Madness has a short lead. Western Expression is charging on the outside. Brutally Frank is in between them. A Firm Success is fourth at the rail, a half length behind. And the leader is Western Expression. A short lead, Western Expression. Brutally Frank fighting on gamely. Firm Success third. Brutally Frank, Western Expression. Here's the line. Brutally Frank by a nostril over Western Expression. And A Firm Success wound up third.
Brutally Frank continuing his very strong move up the ranks. This horse was a claiming horse a couple of years ago. Was claimed for $50,000. Has done very well moving through the claiming ranks in New York. Now a Grade 1 winner. Last time out was perhaps a little bit of an upset. This time out, sincerely a very sharp performance from just off the pace and a very good ride by Sean Bridgmahan. Western Expression makes a bit of a move into the second spot. A Firm Success, who was the heavy favorite, showed good speed down on the rail, got stuck a little bit on the rail, chasing Unreal Madness, and Georgie Chavez was not able to save enough to have really a lot of horse left in the drive. The winner, Brutally Frank, is a 6-year-old bay gelding by Groovy out of Rare Touch by Rare Performer. He was bred by Marion Davis in Kentucky. He is owned by the Sunny Meadow Farm, trained by Mitch Friedman. Completing the 7-furlong distance on the fast Aqueduct main track, 1:21 and 3/5 seconds. We are going to pause for a brief break, and when we come back, we'll be heading down to Kentucky for an exciting weekend of stakes racing action leading up to the 126th running of the Kentucky Derby. Please stay with us.
In 1999, New York bred Circle of Life took Saratoga's Grade 1 spin away. Scottish Halo won at Saratoga and went on to win 2 stakes, including the Grade 3 Laurel Futurity. Mattie May won Belmont's $100,000 Maid of the Mist. 3 stakes winners, and they're just a few of the many New York bred winners sold at last year's 2-year-old and training sales. Plus this year, New York bred stakes are worth over $3 million. So at the sales, focus on New York breds. They start with an advantage. Since the 19th century, there has been a gallery of champions at Saratoga unmatched in racing history, including many New York breds, like Thunder Rumble, winner of the '92 Travers, Lucky Roberto, who won last year's Grade 1 Hopeful, and of course there's the king of Saratoga, the one, the only, 4-Star Dave. All winners, all part of history, all New York breds. Be a part of the many great moments still to come. Own or breed a New York bred. They start with an advantage.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We are going to start our exciting weekend of Churchill Downs racing action now by going back to Thursday. The La Troyenne Stakes was the featured event on the card, a Grade 3, $100,000 event for 3-year-old fillies. They're going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head down to Churchill Downs for the call of Thursday's La Troyenne Stakes.
They're off and running.
Hidden Assets broke right on top. Magical Mystery Cat flashing good speed in second, and Roxalana now punching up the inside. Now up into second place goes Roxalana. Mountain Girls racing in fourth. Watchful fifth by 2, then Cheer for Slew, and Cat's Me If You Can is at the back of the pack, just 5 off the pace up the backstretch. Hidden Assets leads the way by a length and a half now to Roxalana, the favorite, who's in second. Watchful's in third by an X. Cat's Me If You Can up the inside, now a closer fourth. Mountain Girl racing fifth. She's 4 lengths off the lead. Then Cheer for Slew, and 2 back to Magical Mystery Cat, who's dropped back to trail. 21 and 4 for the quarter, banking around the turn. Hidden Assets 3 parts of a length in front. Roxalana moving up dangerously on the outside in second now. Watchful moves up into third. Cat's Me If You Can is set down to a hard drive, racing in fourth. Here comes Magical Mystery Cat through between fillies from the back of the pack. Then Mountain Girl and Cheer for Slew top of the stretch, and Roxalana taking command past the corner pole. Roxalana turns for home in front by 2.5 now. Hidden Assets can't go with her from second. Watchful's racing in third. Cheer for Slew's up the inside. Magical Mystery Cat from the back of the pack, final furlong. It's all Roxalana widening on the field under the hand ride. Roxalana leads the way by 7 lengths. Roxalana, Larry Melanson peeking back for the competition. He'll put the brakes on. Roxalana, much the best, winning the La Troyenne by 8 lengths.
Roxalana remaining unbeaten here. This lovely, beautifully bred daughter of Boundary getting the win here, spurting off from the second spot on the turn, opening up under Larry Melanson and just never looking back. 11 3/4 length win as the 9-10 favorite. Magical Mystery Cat was well off the pace. This was a filly who had shown pretty good speed as a 2-year-old, taken back early by Pat Day, making a big move into the second spot with Watchful, who was fairly close to the early pace, running in the third spot here. The winner, an undefeated daughter of Boundary. She's 3 years old. She was bred in Kentucky by William Landis III. She is by Boundary out of It's Time to Celebrate by Timeless Native, owned by William Landis III, trained by William G. Huffman, ridden to victory by Larry Melanson, completing the 7 furlong distance in a time of 1:21 4/5 seconds. Next, we're going to continue with Churchill Downs Stakes action from Friday, the Louisville Breeders' Cup Handicap. This is a Grade 2 event with a $250,000 purse. The distance is 1 1/16. It's for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. We've got the return to Stakes Company of Silver Bullet Day, last year's 3-year-old champion, taking on the filly Heritage of Gold, who has been unbeaten this year. Let's head down to Churchill Downs for the call of the Louisville Breeders' Cup Handicap.
They're all in line. They're rough and running in the Louisville Breeders' Cup. Bella Chiara rocketing out from that inside post to take the lead. Silent Eskimo moves up to flank her now in second, and Silver Bullet Days racing third. Heritage of Gold came away racing in fourth place. Then Rosa Robata and Keeper Hill settles down at the back of the pack around the first turn. It's Bella Chiara in front by 3 parts of a length now as Silent Eskimo moves up to put some pressure on her in second. Silver Bullet Day in the perfect tracking spot in third. Rosa Robata settles down at the rail in fourth. Heritage of Gold 5 off the pace in fifth, and Keeper Hill continues to trail just 5.5 lengths off the pace through a moderate opening quarter. 24 3/5 seconds, and up the backstretch they go. Bella Chiara and Chris McCarron opening back up by a length now as Silent Eskimo racing in second. Now Heritage of Gold makes an early run up into third as Silver Bullet Day is shuffled back to fourth place now, and she's asked to pick it up. Rosa Robata next on the inside, and Keeper Hill starts to unwind her rally from the back of the pack. 1/2 mile in 48 2/5 seconds. Around the far turn they go. 3 across the track here. Bella Chiara neck in front. Silent Eskimo right there putting the pressure on. Heritage of Gold is third. Silver Bullet Day shaken up by Jerry Bailey, and she's inching her way up to the outside of Rosa Robata, who's got nowhere to go, and a gap of 3 back to a driving Keeper Hill at the back in the stretch drive. Bella Chiara leads the way by 3 parts of a length. Heritage of Gold, Silver Bullet Day on the far outside, starts to gear it up. Rosa Robata now with clear sailing on the inside. Down to the final furlong. Heritage of Gold in front by a head. Bella Chiara, Rosa Robata, Silver Bullet Day back and forth. It's Heritage of Gold and Shane Sellers taking the lead in deep stretch, and Heritage of Gold goes on to win the Louisville Breeders' Cup by a length. Then Bella Chiara in a tight photo.
Heritage of Gold making a nice move here on the outside from just off the pace under Shane Sellers, with Rosa Robata closing hard and able to get a nose advantage over Bella Chiara. Silver Bullet Day making your usual move towards the outside. You see Jerry Bailey starting to shake the reins, kind of. He tends to shake his elbows a little bit when he's trying to stir a horse up. Silver Bullet Day a little bit flat, but Heritage of Gold coming off of 2 very good wins so far this year, and just continuing to roll along, looking right now like the top older filly or mare in the country. She's been very impressive and dominating in her 3 wins. Rosa Robata, who finished a close second behind Silver Bullet Day at Keeneland a couple of weeks ago, rallying nicely into the 2nd spot here as well. The winner, Heritage of Gold, is a 5-year-old bay mare. She's sired by Gold Legend from Leafard, Gal by Leafard. She was bred in Kentucky by the late Georgia Hoffman. She's owned by Jack Gary, trained by Tom Amos, ridden to victory by Shane Sellers. She completes the mile in a 16th distance in 1 minute 42 and 4/5 seconds. Stakes racing action on Friday continued at Churchill with the Crown Royal American Turf, a Grade 3 event with a $100,000 purse. This is for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the turf course. Let's head back to Kentucky for Luke Krybosh's call of the Crown Royal American Turf.
Inside racing in second. Field Cat moves up to get a good spot in third, with Fade Equil up the inside racing in fourth. Then it's Lendell Ray, who's wrangled back from 5th place. Go Lib Go racing 6. 2 Brock is fanned out 4 wide around the first turn. They're followed by Advanced Edition. Then it's Blushing Irish up the inside. King Cougat second last and 2 wide and a gap of 3 farther back to Here Comes Rockadoo Trails. Out of the backstretch they go. Opening quarter 23 and 2/5 seconds. 3 across the track. Final row head in front of Long Shot Miami Blase in second, and Fade Equil at the fence is third. Field Cat inching his way up into contention now in fourth. Lendell Ray caught in some tight quarters, racing behind Traffic in fifth. 2 Brocks on the outside with 4 to make up now. They're followed by Advanced Edition. He's 5 lengths off the pace. King Cougat starts to slice his way now between rivals. Go Lib Go is on the outside, next by 2.5 more. They're followed by Blushing Irish, and here comes Rocket at the back. Half in 46 and 4/5 seconds around the far turn, and it's Field Cat to take a short lead. Pounced on by Lendell Ray, and Lendell Ray now a burst of energy takes the lead. Field Cat is back into second place. King Cougat gathering momentum now from third. Then Go Lib Go in the stretch drive. Lendell Ray turns for home in front by a length and a half. King Cougat's trying to mow him down from the outside. King Cougat is pressing on by to take the lead with a furlong left to go. King Cougat and Jerry Bailey pouring it on in deep stretch and drawing away, and King Cougat just under the head ride, a dominant winner of the Crown Royal American Turf. King Cougat won it by 3. Lendell Ray hangs in there for second, and Go Lib Go was third.
King Cougat returning to the races for Bill Mott and Jerry Bailey, getting a win here at First Asking in the year 2000. Nice win from off the pace. He was held back early. He did get into a little bit of traffic trouble, but was under hand riding under the wire by Jerry Bailey. Almost a 3-length winner as the favorite. Lendell Ray made a nice bold move on the turn, was not quite able to match the winner. Go Lib Go also rallying. This one had shown a little bit of early speed, but did drop back through the middle of the running, was able to rally once more into the 3rd spot. Field Cat, who we've seen in New York, was expected to be the early pacemaker, was not able to get into the early running, and never really did much after that. The winner, King Cougat, is a 3-year-old bay colt. He was bred in Kentucky by Dinwiddie Farm. He's a son of King Mambo from the majestic light mare Tricky Game. He is owned by the Centennial Farm, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, getting the win over the turf course at Churchill Downs in 1 minute 41 and 1/5 seconds. Friday's highlighted Grade 1 stakes race on the card at Churchill, the Kentucky Oaks. Churchill Downs has done a wonderful job of promoting their exciting weekend of stakes racing, drawing a huge crowd every year for the Kentucky Oaks. This year was a record crowd, over 103,000 people in Churchill on Friday. Kentucky Oaks, a $500,000 event for 3-year-old fillies going a mile and an eighth on the main track. Let's head down to Churchill Downs for the call of the Kentucky Oaks.
Off and running in the 126 Kentucky Oaks. It's a good start for all as Miss Seffens goes straight out to take the lead early. Joined by Rings a Chime down the center, and Rings a Chime takes over by half a length. Cash Run will keep her company from the outside, second in Spain. Tugs her way up. She'll be 3 wide into the turn, racing third. Miss Seffens is saving ground on the inside. 4 Circle of Life is racing behind horses in 5th by a length and a half now, followed by Vivid Sunset. And behind that comes Gold for My Gal up the inside. Kamari Continent is 8 off the pace early, followed up the far outside by Velvet Morning, who's 3 wide. Then it's Zoftig in a gap of 3 back to Be Joyful and Rejoice. Secret Status second last by a couple, and Classy Kara's at the back of the pack. Quick quarter, 22 3/5 seconds for Rings a Chime, 3 parts of a length in front. Cash Run still flanking her from second. Spain in a good tracking spot from third. Miss Seffens up the inside is 3.5 off the leader in 4th now. Circle of Life is racing in 5th. Vivid Sunset gaining steady ground along the inside from 6th place, and it's Gold for My Gal, followed by Zoftig, and she's gaining ground on the inside. Kamari Continent starts to commence her run now. Eden Lodge has lost some ground. Secret Status starts to gain from the back of the pack, then Be Joyful and Rejoice. And behind that at the back is Velvet Morning. To the top of the lane they come. It's Rings a Chime in front by a length and a half. Rings a Chime, Cash Run now fully extended, trying to get to her from second. Spain is racing in third. Miss Seffens gets set down for the drive from 4th place. Here comes Pat Day in Secret Status with a big looping move on the far outside. Rings a Chime trying to pull the upset in the Oaks. Rings a Chime leads it. Pat Day in Secret Status motoring on the outside, and Secret Status with a burst of speed is up to take the lead past the 8th pole. Secret Status putting the field away and drawing clear. Secret Status, an impressive winner of the Kentucky Oaks. Secret Status and Pat Day winning it by 6 widening lengths. Rings a Chime was second, and Classy Kara ran third. The time on the board was 1:50.1.
Secret Status, huge wide move here on the turn, making a 5 wide sweeping move on the turn, taking over under Pat Day, under hand riding to a 6 3/4 length win over Rings a Chime. Rings a Chime very game late. She had been right there on the front every step of the way. She did run on very nicely. Certainly, unfortunately, no match for the winner. Classy Kara rallying from well off the pace. Classy Kara had been at the very far back of the pack, making a 7 wide move into the stretch. Certainly a very game effort by this filly, who had been practically left at the gate. She broke very, very slowly. The winner, Secret Status, coming off a bit of a freshening by trainer Neil Howard, had last won the Tampa Bay Oaks. Certainly the Churchill Downs strip and the extended distance here would seem to be a factor for her. A daughter of AP Indy out of Private Status by Aladar, very well bred to stretch out. She was bred in Kentucky by Mr. Farish, Will Farish, James Elkins, and W. Temple Weber Jr. That partnership does continue to own her. She's trained by Neil Howard, ridden to victory by Pat Day, completing the 1 1/8 distance in 1 minute 50 1/5 seconds. We are going to pause now for a brief break, and of course when we come back, we will have all of the stakes racing action from Saturday's Kentucky Derby card at Churchill Downs. Please stay with us.
Excellent racing continues this weekend with 7 tracks offering lots of action. First, it's opening weekend at Belmont with a Grade 2 $150,000 genuine risk handicap for fillies and mares on Saturday. And Sunday, it's a $75,000 Kingston handicap, New York breds 3 and up. Pimlico offers a Grade 1 $750,000 Pimlico special for 3-year-olds and up, and the $75,000 Hirsch Jacob Stakes for 3-year-olds both on Saturday. Sunday finds a $75,000 Ski Pat Stakes for fillies and mares 3 and up. From Hollywood Park on Saturday, it'll be the Grade 2 $150,000 Mervyn Leroy handicap for 3 and up, and on Sunday, it's the Grade 3 $100,000 Wilshire handicap for fillies and mares 3 and up. Other action that runs on Saturday will be the $100,000 Edgewood for 3-year-old fillies from Churchill Downs. Golden Gate has the $100,000 Oaklawn handicap for 3 and up. From Lone Star Park, it's the $100,000 Ali Sheba Breeders' Cup for 3 and up. And our special event from Sportsman's Park, it's the Grade 2 $500,000 Illinois Derby for 3-year-olds. Catch all of the exciting action this weekend.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to kick things off with Saturday's Churchill Downs Stakes racing action with the WHAS 11 Stakes. This is a non-graded stakes race, the only one on today's program, but it's always an exciting race. It's for 2-year-olds going 5 furlongs. The purse $100,000. Let's start things off at Churchill on Saturday with the WHAS 11 Stakes.
Set for the start. Off and running in the WHAS 11, and Love's Connection rockets out to take the lead. Cyan's Thunder is right there. Persian Silver charging up. Unbridled Time is looping up quick on the outside. Daring Pegasus now racing along in 4th. Climb Aboard came away racing in 5th place. Making Hoops is moving up on the far outside. They're followed by Best Mate. He's got 8 to make up early. Then it's Alaskan Star. I've Been Lucky 2 is next with First Attraction on the outside, and a gap of a couple farther back to Ghost at the back of the pack to the top of the lane. Unbridled Time is up to take the lead from Love's Connection along the inside, racing in 2nd. On the far outside, Persian Silver swung into action. Then it's Daring Pegasus gaining ground. They run down to the final furlong. It's Unbridled Time from Persian Silver on the outside. Love's Connection and Daring Pegasus splitting horses. Unbridled Time and Pat Day clear by 2 to Daring Pegasus. Unbridled Time, Daring Pegasus game, but he's second best in the WHAS 11. It's Unbridled Time scoring by 2.5. Daring Pegasus second. Cyan's Thunder third, and the time was 57-3.
Unbridled Time, a very impressive maiden winner last time out at Keeneland. Pat Day aboard, chases the early pace after a bit of a sluggish start. He hustled up from the outside in very good order, able to draw away to almost a 3-length win over the slight favorite, Daring Pegasus. Daring Pegasus was well placed throughout, was not able to provide any response, however, to Unbridled Time. Finishing third, Cyan's Thunder, rallying from a bit off of the pace. He had been just off the early running most of the way with Georgie Chavez aboard as a bit of a long shot at 24-1. The winner, Unbridled Time, is a gray or roan colt. He is 2 years old. He's from the first crop of Unbridled Song out of Heavenly Time by Halo. He was bred in Ohio by the Langsem Farm. He is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Lewis, Bob and Beverly Lewis, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, ridden to victory by Pat Day. He completes the 5 furlong time in 57 3/5 seconds. Continuing with stakes racing action from Churchill Downs, we've got the Grade 2 Wintercom Handicap. This is for $150,000. 3-year-olds and up, sprinting 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back down to Churchill Downs for the call of the Wintercom Handicap.
Kimberlite Pipe is in. They're all in line. Off and running in the Wintercom. Straight Man bounding out on top to a short lead. Run Johnny broke sharply on the outside. He's second early. Kimberlite Pipe came away racing in 3rd. Son of a Pistol right there. Yes, it's true, inching up the inside fence. Moola Gula is second last, and Patience Game unhurried's at the back of the pack. Up the backstretch they go. Straight Man, 3 parts of a length in front. Kimberlite Pipe flanking him from second. Yes, it's true on the inside. Tucks in 3rd. Son of a Pistol's in 4th. The big gray Run Johnny moving up to the outside of Moola Gula, and 2 back to Patience Game, who trails 21-4 for the opening quarter into the far turn. Straight Man still 3/4 in front of Kimberlite Pipe. Run Johnny looping up into 3rd to the outside of Son of a Pistol, who's racing in 4th now. From the back of the pack, Moola Gula with a big move. Then it's Yes, It's True backpedaling out of it, and Patience Game comes on now from dead last to the top of the stretch. Straight Man set down for the drive past the quarter pole. Kimberlite Pipe is into his throat the entire trip now. Run Johnny's on the far outside. Rail is opening up for Moola Gula, running a big race. Then it's Son of a Pistol. From the back of the pack comes Patience Game. Down to the final furlong. Straight Man fully extended. Moola Gula up the inside rail. Straight Man from long shot. Moola Gula. Straight Man neck in front. Moola Gula trying to wear him down. Straight Man by a neck. Moola Gula a final lunge. Straight Man hangs on from Moola Gula in a tight photo finish.
Straight Man here. This is Bob Baffert horse, who had been pointed for the Derby last year. Did kind of come off the Derby trail when the wheels came off late in the spring. Getting things back in order and getting a nice win here under Georgie Chavez on the front end every step of the way. Moola Gula in from California and back onto the main track. This is a horse who, when put on the turf in California, moved up a ton, but now in Kentucky, getting a good second, going sprinting on the turf. Patience Game rallied up into the third spot. Patience Game, another one who was a 3-year-old who had been on the Derby Trail last year. As a matter of fact, most of the 4-year-olds in this race were horses that had been Derby horses or Derby prospects last year. Patience Game, winner of last year's Derby trial back at Churchill Downs here, running from well off the pace, making a 7-wide move into the stretch. The winner, Straight Man, is a 3 or 4-year-old bay colt. He is bred in Florida by Casey Seaman. He's a son of Saint Balado from Brilliant Melody by Cornish Prince, owned by Bob and Beverly Lewis. They had consecutive wins here. This was also the first of 2 wins for Georgie Chavez. He's going to have the next one as well. Bob and Beverly have this one with Bob Baffert rather than Wayne Lucas. Ridden, as I mentioned, by Georgie Chavez. Straight Man completes the 7 furlongs in a very quick 1:21 2/5 seconds. Stakes racing action continued, this time shifting on to the turf for the Churchill Downs Distaff Turf Mile. $100,000 added. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a mile on Churchill Downs turf course. Let's head back to Churchill for Luke Krybosh's call of the Distaff Turf Mile.
All in line, we're set to go. Off fan running in the Churchill Downs Distaff Turf Mile, and it's Price Arose, and she goes straight out to take charge early. Price Arose from Don't Be Silly in second, and Trace Coronas in third. Dominique's Joy moving up between fillies in fourth. Tuzla in mid-pack is racing along in fifth by 2, more than its Please Sign In. She's followed by Really Polish, and White Beauty is at the back of the pack around the clubhouse turn. Price Arose is opened up by 3 now to Don't Be Silly, second by ahead. Trace Coronas at the hedge racing in third. Dominique's Joy is fourth. Tuzla's got 7 to make up on the front runner, then Really Polish. 2 farther back to Please Sign In, and at the back of the pack continues White Beauty. 23 and 2 for the opening fraction. Midway up the backstretch they go. Price Arose and Tracy Hebert freewheeling out there now by 4 to Don't Be Silly in second. Trace Coronas edging up at the hedge in third. Dominique's Joy's racing along in fourth. Tuzla still 7 off the pacemaker in fifth. Really Polish is tracking her now stride for stride. Gap of 3 farther back to Please Sign In, and White Beauty continues at the back of the pack. Halftime was 46 and 1. They wind their way to the top of the lane. Price Arose, been there all the way, leads it clear by 2 to Don't Be Silly racing in second place now. Dominique's Joy is third. Tuzla gets set down for the drive by Corey Nakatani, and here comes Really Polish up the hedge down to the final furlong. Price Arose fully extended. Don't Be Silly ranging up to tackle her from the outside. Don't Be Silly pushing on by to take the lead. The final furlong from a stubborn Price Arose. Don't Be Silly, Price Arose, Really Polish coming on a tad too late. Don't Be Silly gets up to win the Churchill Downs Distaff Turf Mile. Won it by 2 over Really Polish. The front running Price Arose was third, and the time on the board 1:34 and 3.
Don't Be Silly under Georgie Chavez getting a stalking trip at long odds, almost 30 to 1. Running down Price Arose on the turn and extending to a length and 3/4 length win over Really Polish. Price Arose holding on for the third spot. Tuzla, Bob Baffert's turf miler, very sharp filly on most occasions. A little bit dull here, stalking the early pace a little bit wide and unable to respond when Corey Nakatani asked for her usual run. The winner, Don't Be Silly, is a 5-year-old bay mare. She was bred in Kentucky by Charles Knuckles and Son. She's a daughter of Lord at War out of Oh Silly Me by Quack. She is owned by R. Hall, D. Lynch, and the Merrill R. Scherer, trained by Merrill R. Scherer. Ridden to victory by Georgie Chavez, getting his 2nd consecutive stakes win on the card, completing the mile in a very legitimate time of 1:34 3/5 seconds. Continued stakes action from Churchill with the Humana Distaff Grade 2 event. This is a $200,000 race. I'm sorry, it's a $150,000 purse. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares sprinting 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back to Churchill for the call of the Humana Distaff.
They're off and running. French Braids broke right on top. There goes Cassidy on the far outside. Sweeping Story, flashing good speed and Swinging on Ice. And Swinging on Ice gets her neck in front. Cassidy on the outside is second. Sweeping Story between the top pair is third. Ruby Surprise a clear-cut fourth. 2 in front of Zapardo Ardo. Then French Braids in a gap of 5 back to the big favorite, Honest Lady. And she's already 10 lengths off a moderate pace early. Up the backstretch they go. And it's Swinging on Ice in front by a length and a half to Cassidy in second by a neck. Sweeping Story third. Ruby Surprise is next by 4 more. Then it's French Braids ahead in front of Zupardo Ardo, and 4 farther back to Honest Lady. 22 flat for the first quarter. Round the far turn they go, swinging on ice. To the outside gets a challenge here from Ruby Surprise, with Cassidy racing along in third. Sweeping Story fourth by 2 more. French Braids is next by an X. Zupardo Ardo, and Honest Lady starts to uncork her rally from the back of the pack, and she's slicing fast between fillies now as they head for home. Ruby Surprise has taken a short lead, swinging on ice, fully extended, can't go with her in second. Then a gap of a couple back to Cassidy in third. Honest Lady is motoring, but she's got 7 to make up with a furlong left to do it. Ruby Surprise and Joe Judice has opened up on the field. Honest Lady's running hard, but she's running out of ground late. Ruby Surprise, Honest Lady can't get her. Ruby Surprise, an upset winner of the Humanidis staff from a hard-charging Honest Lady, and Cassidy ran third.
Ruby Surprise in another surprise performance, an upset here under Joe Judice from just off the pace, made a nice move onto the turn, drawing off by 2 1/4 lengths as the second longest price on the board, beating heavy favorite Honest Lady at 7 to 10. Honest Lady showed no early speed, split horses late, made a nice finish into the second spot under Brice Blanc. Cassidy, who was pressing the early pace, was in the third spot. The winner, Ruby Surprise, a dark bay or brown mare. She is 5 years old, bred in Kentucky by William F. Morgan, a daughter of Farm Away from Santa Rosalia, out by Bold Bidder. She's owned by James T. Hines, trained by Robert Holthus, and ridden, as I mentioned, by Joe Judice. Ruby Surprise surprises them all at long odds, completing the 7 furlongs in 1:21 1/5 seconds. We're going to head back onto the turf now for the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic, a Grade 1 event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 on the turf. The purse $300,000. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the call of the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic.
We're all set. Off and running in the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic. Fast start for Marquette, straight out to take the lead from Dawson's Legacy second, and Thesaurus moves up in third. Yagli tucks in along the inside fourth. Floriselli just off his flank now. Now Thesaurus is about 4 lengths off the pace, and behind that comes Falcon's Flight and Rhythm Band. They're well bunched past the stands for the first time. Marquette and Jorge Chavez under a nice hold in front by 3 parts of a length to Dawson's Legacy in second, and Mandar tugs his way up the inside in third. Thesaurus racing in fourth. Falcon's Flight is moving up on the inside in fifth. Yagli's got 4.5 to make up. Rhythm Band is on his outside, and 2 back to Floriselli, who's at the back of the pack, 8 lengths off the pace. Opening quarter 24 2 up the backstretch. Marquette 3 parts of a length in front still from Shane Sellers and Dawson's Legacy, a clear cut second, and Mandar is third. Thesaurus is racing in the pink silks in fourth. Falcon's Flight is fifth. Yagli up the inside. Will need some racing room from 6 now. Rhythm Band on the far outside under Frankie Dettori, and Floriselli continues to trail 7 off the pace through the half mile in 48 3, and past the half mile pole they go. Dawson's Legacy is 3 wide on the outside of Marquette. Mandar between the top pair. Falcon's Flight, Yagli up the inside, still needs a seam to slip through. Then it's Thesaurus on the far outside. Rhythm Band starts to gear it up now. He's being hustled at by Dettori, and Floriselli at the back of the pack, top of the lane, and Mandar taking the lead past the quarter pole. Mandar, Marquette trying to hang with him. Now Yagli has clear sailing. He's firing up under Jerry Bailey. On the far outside comes Falcon's Flight. Down to the final furlong. It's Mandar and Corey Nakatani by 2. Yagli's running hard up the inside and Falcon's Flight, but neither one is getting to Mandar. And Mandar goes on to win the Woodford Reserve. Mandar winning it by nearly 2 over Falcon's Flight. And Yagli finished up third.
Mandar and Falcon Flight coming down to the wire about 1.5 lengths apart from one another, this time in the opposite order from last time. Mandar drawing away a little bit here under Corey Nakatani. This youngster, 4-year-old colt, had been in Europe until the end of last year. Since coming to the States, has performed very well, has been based out in California in the barn of Bo Greeley. Falcon Flight making a nice move from off the pace here. falling short by about a length and a half. Yardley was never too terribly far off the pace, a little bit closer to the pace than he sometimes is, galloping along fairly nicely on the inside. Made a bit of a move, but was not really able to threaten at any point in the running. Rhythm Band with Frankie Dettori up was rallying into the third spot. This, a very nice youngster, debuted in New York a couple of years ago, was purchased by the Godolphin operation, won on Dubai World Cup night at Nad Al Sheba, and is now back in the United States. The winner, Mandar, is an Irish-bred 4-year-old son of Doyoun from Madeira, out of Madeira by Diasis. Mandar was bred in Ireland by His Highness the Aga Khan Stud. He is owned by the Columbine Stable, trained by C. Bo Greeley, ridden to victory by Corey Nakatani, and completed the 1.125 distance on the turf course in 1 minute, 47 4/5 seconds. Well, this is it. This is the big race of not only the week, but possibly the year. Saturday's Grade 1 126th running of the Kentucky Derby. The purse, $1 million. It's 3-year-olds going the 1.25 miles. This is the race we all wait for every year, the first Saturday in May. Let's head down to Churchill Downs for the call of the 126th Kentucky Derby.
Off and running in Kentucky Derby 126. Hal's Hope broke like a rocket. He takes the lead. Wheel away, flashing good speed up the inside. And they're quickly joined by Trippy. And Trippy takes over by a deck now. Hal's Hope second. Wheel away third. Captain Steve fourth. More Than Ready came away fifth. Graham Hall moves up to the outside in 6th place now. And they're followed by Exchange Rate. He's be 4 wide around the first turn. The Deputy moves up into the leading group now. And they're followed by High Yield. And he's caught 4 wide around that turn. Commendable is up close early as well. Around the first turn they go. Hal's Hope 3 parts of a length in front, being pressed by Trippy to his outside in second. Arkansas Derby winner Graham Hall is third. More Than Ready saving ground along the inside in fourth. High Yield loops up 3 wide from fifth. Exchange Rate 6. Captain Steve is 4 lengths off the pace. Then Wheel Away's next up the inside. And they're followed by Commendable, War Chant next at the rail. Then it's the Deputy. He's got 9 to make up, followed by China Visit. 2.5 back. It's Fusa Ichi Pegasus. He's 9 lengths off the pace, but moving steadily now. It's a gap of a couple farther back now. In the colors of Aptitude, and Aptitude has got 10 to make up. Up the inside comes Unease. Then part of the entry, Carul is next. He's got 12 to make up, a gap of 5 to Deputy Warlock. From the back of the pack, Impeachment starts to pick it up now. And the trailer, Long Shot, Ron Todd. Round the far turn, Hal's Hope, Hill's still there. On the outside comes Trippy to challenge in second. Captain Steve makes his move. There goes Captain Steve, 3 wide. More Than Ready gets set down for the drive. Long Shot, Wheel Away is hanging tough. China Visit cranks it up on the far outside, and here comes Fusa Ichi Pegasus along with Aptitude. They head for home, and Captain Steve taking the lead 4 wide. Long Shot, Wheel Away comes over into Captain Steve, and More Than Ready gets the rail run. Here comes the big horse Fusa Ichi Pegasus, and Fusa Ichi Pegasus storming home on the outside. Fusa Ichi Pegasus will hit the front. Aptitude try to run him down. Fusa Ichi Pegasus wins Kentucky Derby 126. Aptitude ran second, tight for third. Either Impeachment with a late run or More Than Ready, and the running time was fast, 2:01 flat.
Well, there he is, folks. Fusa Ichi Pegasus getting the win here. Very impressive form. Kent Desormeaux just guiding him through down on the rail, in between horses on the turn. He had a couple of horses making a move to the outside of him. China Visit in the blue silks, with the white, little bit of a white blaze on his nose. But very impressive performance by Fusa Ichi Pegasus here, going off as the favorite, but perhaps not as heavily favored at 23 to 10 as some people might have expected. He was farther back off the early pace than some people might have expected, but Kent Desormeaux breaking from an outside post position 15, able to guide him in towards the rail and make that sustained move. He was able to push him in towards the rail, made a couple of moves up the backstretch to get position going into the turn. Had to take back just a little bit in order to avoid running up onto horses. But this one showed that he had another gear when Kent brought him towards the outside, shook the reins at him a little bit, never turned the stick up in his hand, just reached back, gave him a little tap with the stick just to make sure that his mind was on his business. Aptitude running very, very strongly for second. I thought his performance was very sharp at one point or another early in the going. Aptitude was in front of Fusaichi Pegasus. Nobody would have expected that. Alex Solis also making a very sharp, well-timed ride, but despite the fact that he was only a length and a half behind the winner, really didn't look like much of a match for him. He was certainly under a sustained drive. Rallying into the third spot was Impeachment down on the rail. He's just going to get up in front of More Than Ready down on the rail. More Than Ready, the only horse involved in the early pace who was there at the end. More Than Ready was, I think, very, very game in finishing fourth in this field. Completing the 1.25 mile distance on the first Saturday in May under Kent DeSormo in 2:01 flat. Very impressive time for Saturday's Kentucky Derby. That concludes our wrap-up of this past week's stakes racing action. We did have a lot of races to bring to you. I tried to zip through as quickly as I could. Less talk, more racing. That seems to be the key on a busy day like this one. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed the program, and I hope you're able to join me next weekend. Well, we'll have the first weekend's racing at Belmont Park. We are opening Belmont this week. Should be exciting. Always nice to transfer to a new venue here in New York after a long winter at Aqueduct. Highlighting next week's program will be the Grade 1 Pimlico Special, 1 mile and 3/16 down at Pimlico Racecourse. That race to be run next Saturday rather. So we do hope you'll be able to join us next week as well for horses and courses. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Jean Wood, and I hope to see everyone back here next week.